Hi everyone. Today is it's 9/11. It's September 11th, 2019. 18 years ago, we had a horrific attack upon my country, the country which I was born, I was raised, and the country that I served. Now, I'm going to be opening up a bit of me inside, and a lot of these things are very personal. So, apart from family, no one else has actually seen them. And I'm going to express probably some deeper insight into me a little bit. And no, I'm not going to talk about the giveaway because this is not about that today at all. Today's about remembering those who fought to keep our country safe, remembering those who fought in other countries, such as where I am currently in England, which were events to follow. So not only was America affected, but the consequences that soon followed afterwards rippled to Britain, to Canada, to Australia, and indeed around the world. And before I continue, before I go into more details about me, there you go. That was me many, years ago. You can tell just from the estate or station wagon, as you call it. Yeah, I was an altar boy. Pretty ugly at that, but hey. um, and throughout the years, I've gone all over the country and all over the world. In fact, there I am there a couple of years before, I was into the Navy. And obviously, behind me is an iconic building. I'm sure you all know what that is, the White House. So, September 11th, it's only a few weeks prior to that I was here. And I'm talking weeks. Now, excuse me for covering up. I really don't want my wife's face shown at that time, but there you have it. Before I had an accident. And that was me traveling along quite happily. In fact, I'm going to block off my father's face as well. And that's in front of the American Enterprise building. And yeah, we had a really great time. And it was shocking to find out that when I woke up, being back here in Britain, I turned on the news as I do every morning, and lo and behold, there's information piling up, and I'm getting bombarded with there's attacks, there's this. Now I'm trying to contact my family at this point because I remember when it happened very well. Um, and it was shocking. It was absolutely terrifying. I didn't know what hit me. Now, I said I was raised Catholic and everything else, and it was Roman Catholic to be fair. But along the way, I think we all kind of have our paths that we tend to go down, and my path, eventually led me into the United States Navy, which in turn got me the qualifications and the skill set to become a paramedic. And I used all of those. And for that, I'm going to bring out my final coin, which is for the wounded healers. And that's really because I want to show that not only was America attacked that day, the world was attacked that day. The free nations the countries which believe that you have a right to speak, you have a right to make decisions. Now, granted, our world is not perfect. Our world is not, painted in lovely rainbows. Um, but it's getting a damn sight better than it ever has, been. I mean, soon after 9/11, of course, we had the London bombings and so on and so forth. But earlier this morning, and it's taken me a while to actually make this video, not because I needed to actually showcase anything, but because I really wanted to get these words out, which were that, when I was watching some of the films or the actual live, footage at the time, I remember people talking in the hotel right between the two Twin Towers. I think it was the Marriott, if I'm not mistaken. And they said, oh, yeah, there was an explosion. And they're still in there. I mean, a lot of those people lost their lives as well. And it was because New Yorkers be New Yorkers, and you have to be a New Yorker to really understand this. Even though, I was raised in Connecticut, etc., I was born in New York. But New Yorkers are resilient. They are just like Londoners. When something happens, it happens. They'll pick up the pieces and they'll move on. It doesn't mean that they've forgotten. Nor has the world. The world is not forgotten. And the world doesn't give two craps about whether or not, who the name of the terrorists were. We actually care about who the innocent people were that were affected. So on that basis, I'm not going to make this video long. I'm going to cut it here, really. I just want to say, I remember, I love, and I will never forget. I was at the point of hopping back on a plane to assist in any way, shape, and form I can. I made several phone calls, but at that point, everything was really under control by the time I could actually do anything. Flights, of course, were grounded. But for those who attended, and I know that there are a few people here who are watching this right now, because I know who you are, to rush in, to be trapped, to rescue, to help, to preserve life without any, fear of your own well-being, despite protocols, etc. Thank you. I'm sorry I was not there at the time to actually help. And for all of those who have lost people, as I have, let's never forget this event. For those who are religious, God bless. For those who are not, let us just keep it in our hearts forever and never forget this event. And let's focus on the families, those still living, and those who have lost. Very different video from normal, guys, but thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it.